Gaston Glock's best creation, the best self-defense pistol ever created. If you're looking for me to validate those ideas, I would say, yeah, probably. I mean, every manufacturer since Glock has come out with this design has pretty much copied it and made their own. But that doesn't mean that these other manufacturers haven't now outdone Glock in their own realm. That's what we're going to talk about today. 7 concealed carry guns that are not named Glock. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is somewhat of a surprise to me, man. The IWI Masada S. The reason I say it's a surprise is because I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to this gun when it first came out, but I've reviewed it since and I'm glad I did, man. So you have front and rear slide serrations. The serrations come all the way down on the lower frame there. It's not like it does a whole lot for you. It just looks cool. But if you want to get your press checks in there on the front, you have a nice surface to grip onto, and then the ones in the rear do a good job as well. This pistol has quite a bit of weight for a concealed carry gun. It's not like, you know, super heavy or the heaviest one even, but it does have some weight to it. And so typically that's going to help you with the felt recoil. With this one though, it's got an interesting recoil pulse. More recoil than what I expected, but still not unmanageable. Anytime you get these smaller guns, they're gonna be somewhat snappy in the hand. You can see that it is optics ready there. Blacked out rear iron sight. Nice white dot there in the front. Perfect grip texturing, nearly perfect, seriously. The magazine release is reversible. The trigger on this gun is fantastic. You get to the wall, boom, brakes, nice clean brake, reset right there. They did a fantastic job on this. 2 13-round magazines. I've done a full review on this, so go ahead over and check that out if you want to know more about this gun. But overall, this is a new kid on the block, but this is a fantastic option. Now, these guns I try to give you all a range, you know, 425, 450 and up. The next one is up there a little bit as far as the price, but if you want a full-size grip and a slimline pistol, then this may be a good option for you. This is the XMacro. A lot of features on this one. So you do have a rail here, so if you want to hook up a light, laser, anything like that, you can do that easily. You have front and rear slide serrations, not cut as deeply as the ones I showed you on the Masada S, but they still do a really good job. This one is also ported, right? And so these ports do a good job of flattening out the gun for better follow-up shots, right? So this is a really cool feature, man. You can see you have a 3.1-inch barrel, so you can see how far back that barrel sits there. Best set of pistol sights, period. Period. X-ray, day-night sights, right there. Absolutely love them. Now, capacity in this gun is insane. Check that out. 17 rounds in a gun like this. Now again, it's going to have a longer grip, but if you're looking for a full-size grip in a gun that's thinner than most of your full-size guns, that's where this thing really shines. Flat face trigger as well. So same treatment they basically did on the XL and guns like that. So you get to the wall, boom, it breaks. Not the best trigger in the world, don't get me wrong, but there's not a lot of travel there either, right? So boom, it breaks, reset, right there. Super audible and tactile as far as the reset. And again, you don't have much travel there. So getting a trigger right in a gun like this, to me, is super important. I don't mess with triggers, especially in my carry guns and such. I just don't want to mess with that, okay? And so getting it right straight from the factory is important. And this gun has a pretty decent trigger. The grip texturing, a little bit more aggressive than what we saw on the Masada, but still a very nice job and one of the most comfortable guns in the hand. It basically is a full-size grip, right? I'm actually trying it out with this 407K that I took off of my M&P, so I can't wait to try it with that because Sig red dots are just awful. Hey, this next one, it's not a carry gun, but I have to tell you about it anyways because you have a chance to win this thing. Seriously. $5,300 Korth NXS imported by Nighthawk Customs. This thing is like if John Wick were to carry a revolver, this would be the revolver that he carried. So we partnered up with Get Entered to Win. Essentially, you click the link in the description, you buy yourself a collectible mug, you get entered to win a $5,300 revolver. Now, not only is this thing awesome, you get to support myself directly and get yourself a really cool collectible mug, plus the chance to win something incredible. So time is starting to run out here. You have until July 26th, midnight Pacific Standard Time to enter. I'm going to leave that link in the description. Good luck to each and every one of you, man. This is my way of giving back. So go out there, hit this one hard, click the link, and if you end up winning this thing, make sure you tag me in your pictures on Instagram. Or, if you don't have Instagram, email me a picture of you with your gun. I don't care. I just want to see one of y'all go home with this thing. Whoop! Next one we're going to talk about is the KelTec P15, right? And so this offers a lot of what we just saw on the XMacro in a smaller package, right? And so the height is what you're trying to conceal. So this is an overall much shorter gun, but you still retain those features, right? So you have a small little rail right here. You have front and rear slide serrations. They do a really good job. They're cut, deep enough into the frame where you can get a good bite on those things. You have blacked out rear sights there. Nice big white dot in the front. It's also optics ready. You have a striker indicator in the rear right here. So when you pull the trigger and she goes bang, that goes bye-bye. Speaking of the trigger, it's got a good one. You get to the wall, boom, brakes, reset, right there. A little bit higher of a bore axis, so, a little bit more muzzle rise in this gun to an extent, but it's definitely not uncontrollable by any means. You can swap out your back straps on this gun. So that's kind of something cool, where most of these guns, you're kind of stuck with what you got. They actually give you the option. The kits from KelTec on these things are incredible, man. They give you a holster, they give you a cleaning kit, they give you a bunch for a really decent price, and that's something KelTec has always kind of done. You have a 12-round flush configuration. You have an extended 15-round magazine right there. So this one is interesting because, like I said, most carry guns are not going to give you some of the options like the replaceable back strap or the rail up front here. So this one is definitely a good option, and you're going to get a lot of goodies with this one. Now we're going to be covering another kind of big boy as far as carry guns, but if you want one of the best shooting, if not the best shooting carry gun on the market, check out the Equalizer. Very aggressive serrations here in the front. There is no question whether you're going to be able to grip those things properly. You do have a rail here in the front. A lot of these guns I'm showing you actually have a rail, man. That's becoming more popular. It hasn't always been like that, okay? But regardless, man, this one does have a rail. You do have a grip safety back here if that's not something you like. It kind of is what it is, right? But it's super passive. From what I've showed you, I think you have more magazine options here. You have a 10-round flush, you have the 13-round extended, and then you have a 15-round magazine option as well. Of course, it's optics ready. I got the EPS carry on there. Great, fantastic red dot so far, actually. You have the iron sights right there. And one of the easiest guns to rack. So if you're new to this, or you have carpal tunnel or arthritis or anything like that, this gun is so easy to rack. It's got an internal hammer instead of a striker. So basically, that allows it to be much easier to get that thing pulled back to the rear and charge it up. And like I said, man, when it comes to a concealed carry gun that shoots incredible, the Equalizer is where it's at. All right, we got two more. This one has been very impressive as well. The FN Reflex. Right? You got the nice bright orange dot there in the front. Viewport so you can see your brass down in the chamber. White dots in the rear. You can get these optics ready if you so choose. It does have a single slot rail right there. Front and rear slide serrations. You can see obviously it has that nice FDE finish that FN does. So you get the two-tone there between the lower and the slide. It looks freaking awesome. But the biggest part of this one, man, you get a 11-round and then a 15-round magazine option as well. That 15-round thing started with the Hellcat Pro, and then the XMacro kind of upped the ante, but 15 rounds generally has been where every manufacturer I feel is trying to get to, at least with their extended mag. So if you got bigger hands, even though this is a small gun, they give you that option, man, so it could pretty much fit anybody. Pretty aggressive on the grip texturing there. You got these little raised areas on the front and the back strap, and then semi-aggressive on the side there as well, so you can keep this gun locked in your hand. Again, this one it's pretty small for what it is. So if you want to keep your package small, there you go. You can put on that little finger extension, or they even give you a flush configuration to make this even more concealable. And then if you want to take this one to the range or use it as your backup, that is ideal. The trigger, it's okay. It's better than most of the FN striker fire guns, even though this one's hammer fired as well, actually. Boom. Predictable. Reset. Reset. You got to really get this thing all the way back to the rear. Right there. Doesn't have the best trigger, and I still need to work with this one a little bit. But when it comes to shootability, concealability, the features that it has, this is a good one from FN. I'm typically not impressed with their striker fire guns, the FN 509, the FN 9C or FNS 9C I had back in the day. You know, even the FNX 45 Tactical. I don't know, man. I love their rifles. Well, I have a SCAR rifle, but I mean, I love their guns. I don't know. I've never been super impressed with any of their striker fired guns. The FN 502 was really, really freaking awesome. This is amongst one of the better ones that I've seen from them personally, and I'm just comparing this to like the FN 509, the 510, even the FNS 9 compact that I had back in the day. I just don't like that split hinge design. I'm glad Smith & Wesson got away from it. It's just not a really great trigger. This one is okay. I just need to spend a little bit more time with it, but overall, this is definitely a great option for concealed carry. The next one, some of y'all are going to have an issue with. It's expensive, but it's still incredible. This is the P365 Spectra Comp. So this is the second entry on my list that Sig has made it into, but this gun it's just awesome, man. Now, if you got an XL, which doesn't have all the fancy features and cuts and all that kind of stuff, that's a great gun too. I just really, really like this one, man. You got lightning cuts here. You again have that porting on the front right there. X-ray sights, TIN, gold barrel and trigger, custom serrations on the gun. It's basically a custom carry gun straight from Sig, right? And so you have the LXG laser engraved grip, 12 round mags. This thing is incredible, and yes, it's interchangeable. The 17 round mags right there. Trigger again, flat face, get to the wall, boom. Reset. This is just a good shooter, man. And like I said, yeah, it's expensive, but it's high quality, dude, and I love taking that thing to the range. And I love carrying it too. I really do trust the P365 series. You got to think, P365, yeah, Glock pioneered polymer frame striker fire guns, but Sig pioneered this higher capacity micro 9 segment that we're looking at today. And this one right here, they took the P365 and took it to a whole nother level. Last one we're going to talk about, some of y'all may be super surprised, but I'm going to tell you about it anyways. The KelTec P15. Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here. Piece of junk. Really, the Shield Plus. Man, how many of you are tired of seeing this gun? At this point, I really don't care if you're tired of seeing it. This is one of the best, if not the best. I still call it the best concealed carry gun, and has been for a while. These guys have done a great job, man. You have white dots there in the front, right? Pretty simple. You have a loaded viewport down here. This is the one I carry the most, But I also have the Performance Center right here. It's got the fiber optics. Of course, it's optics ready. You know, mine is optics ready, but it doesn't have an optic on there. A little bit longer barrel there, of course, different sight options. You can get multiple configurations with the Shield Plus. The fact remains, though, man, they did a great job with this gun. From the size, to me, the Shield Plus, this one specifically with the 3.1 inch barrel, is the best all around. Front and rear slide serrations, they do okay, you know what I mean? You don't have a rail or anything like that, although there's trigger guard options that you can go with if you want a lighter laser. You have a 10-round flush magazine, you have the 13 rounds, the 15-round magazine. One of the best features in this gun, though, is that trigger. Boom. Reset, right there. They just did a fantastic job on this gun, man. It is a hell of a shooter. I love taking this thing to the range. I've shot it, you know, at 25 yards, and I feel comfortable with this gun. That's really hard to do with a concealed carry gun, but they made the trigger awesome. They use good components, the barrel, everything about this gun is fantastic. And like I said, if you don't necessarily like this one, you can go with the Performance Center or some of the other variants that they have of the Shield Plus. You can go with the 30 Super Carry, which is a really great option as well. So there you go, man. Shield Plus is still king to me in the world of concealed carry. But these are 7 of the best carry guns that are not named Glock. I'd love to hear some of your opinions down below. Which ones have really stood out to you over the past few years? If you like what I do here, consider subscribing. If you want to join our community, you can hit that join button down below or join us on Patreon as well. Big thanks to you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.